Hey VC, Jeff here, back again with another stack of weekly listening goodness. So yeah, been kind of a crazy week at work, so pretty exhausted. So yeah, just gonna maybe try to take it easy a little bit this weekend, but I do have some maybe promotions. We'll see. But I gotta do some interviews again and again and again and again and again. So I gotta prep for those. But otherwise, I'll try and take it a little easy this weekend. Uh, so here in Northern Virginia, DC suburbs, I did try to go out a little bit just to kind of get a feel for the lay of the land, and yeah, it's still chaos out there. So just been pretty much going to work and back, and occasional gas station, having everything delivered. So I braved out to the stores. I believe they just opened a week ago, or maybe even it was Friday. I don't know, but yeah, I went out a couple days ago, just on the way home from work to pick up some bread, and there's a thrift store right next there, and I've been seeing so many good finds everyone's been finding, so I just popped in there. Yeah, I found a couple albums with nothing spectacular. Found a really interesting Japan Airlines one from the '60s. So bought that, and I was like, I think it was Hank Williams Jr., which I don't know. I probably overpaid for that one, but yeah, the big thing was I finally found a good CD player, and I only paid like something ridiculous like $5 for it. So I'm happy about that. So you're probably going to be seeing a lot more CDs in the rotation moving forward, just because like I just wasn't really crazy about my temporary setup, and I just hadn't gotten around to a CD player. So now I'm like, I got a proper setup now. So yeah, so just more CDs probably in the future, because like I got a bunch I just haven't been listening, because I'm just not a CD person, never have been. But yeah, I came into a whole bunch, and some I haven't even listened to once. So well, let's just get started, man. Things crazy here. So if you haven't already, there's a contest. So go back a few videos, you'll see it. If I remember, I'll put it in the links below. So that's going to be going until July 4th. So hope to see some entries. I try to do some fun questions that no one else has been doing. So at least I don't think anyone's been doing those questions. So really looking forward to your entries, and let's just get started. So a lot of stuff that doesn't get shown around here. So this was a fairly recent pickup. So new old stock to Damascus, and this was our albums to come. This is the Dutch pressing. So this mint. I don't think it was ever sealed. It was just a lot of indie stuff. I think was not. So new stock, great copy. So how would I describe it? Yeah, it's post punk, mid '80s, and yeah, I don't know. It's not terribly stand out, but it's solid. If you ever see this, I don't think they go for a ton of money used. If you see it, I would definitely pick up more, but. Oh, how would I? Yeah, I listened to this last weekend. I can't even remember it. So it's not like a terribly remarkable album, but it was good. It's very typical of the early '80s, like post punk stuff, I guess. This one. So I think I've shown this in the past. I know this is one of Steve Carlson's favorites, but this is a really minty copy I picked up in Japan. Waterboys and Fisherman's Blues. So really super, yeah, like 80s folk. So yeah, I think in some of my recent videos I showed the Contenders, it's a very similar album to this one. So I think there was some guest artist in here, but anyway, yeah. Anyway, so original insert, there they are. Yeah, I'm all about misinformation, just like the vinyl douche Sam. But yeah, so it's got the Gaelic singer Thomas McEwan, I believe, and so on. So yeah, I believe they're Gaelic. It has that '80s production, but I quite enjoyed this one. It's a really good album. So if you see this, definitely pick it up. There is a newer reissue I noticed. So I was trying to get one for Steve, but I just couldn't get one easily, but they are pretty easy to get on Discogs, I believe. Moving on, I was just in the mood for some kind of chill music. Kind of going backwards here. So this is John Fahey, Leo Kopke, and Peter Lang. It's all guitarists. It's kind of solo guitar kind of stuff. This makes for really good background music, I guess I would say. But it's just amazing. It's an amazing album. But so it's just solo guitar, a lot of nice picking and so on. Kind of folky, almost ambience. I'd say. So it's a nice album. I really enjoy Fahey in particular, but on this one, who started it out? Yeah, Leo Kopke is very, very similar. I really enjoy his stuff. I believe he collaborated with some people. So yeah, put it in the comments. I know I've run across that before. I know him from somewhere. But yeah, this is a super album. It's on Tacoma Records. There you go. So really clean, minty copy I picked up in Japan a while back. And this one again, a really interesting album. This is Abdullah Guards Circular Forms. This is the second pressing that came out. So I missed out on the first one because I wasn't really buying a lot of vinyl at the time. So Circular Forms, Mogard. So Abu Mogard, I believe he's from like the Czech Republic or something like that. So if you like, what's his name from Radiohead, Tom York. If you like his solo stuff, or was it Amok or whatever that stuff? Yeah, so if you like that stuff, you'll like this, because basically he's a huge fan of this guy, and he's a lot of his stuff he's basically just copying this guy's work. But ambient. Yeah, if you're a fan of the ambient work of, what's his face? Man, I am brain dead this morning. Dude from Roxy Music. Yeah, so if you're a fan of like Eno's ambient stuff, or it's kind of between Eno and Tommy York, basically. That kind of sound. Awesome. This is tremendous. You can stream. I think I heard this first when I was just kind of playing around with YouTube music streams at work before. That's how I ended up getting this. So it's kind of hard to get a hold of this, because I think he just did a couple editions of 500 each. So, but I think it's a little easier on CD. But yeah, it's worth a pickup if you enjoy ambient type stuff. So I know this would be a good one for Dean over at Grandma's Handbag. I know he'd like that one. This one is kind of appropriate to the time. So Japanese copy, 70s repress of We Insist, so protest music, so a combination instrumental and some vocal jazz with Abby Lincoln. And so it's Oscar Brown and Max Roach and Coleman Hawkins and a fellow called Olantunji on I guess they call them bongos. I don't know. I'm probably going to botch that up. But yeah, it's a good album. Super appropriate for the times. If you see this, worth picking up. I have a feeling that the value is going to go up on these with everything going on. But yeah, regardless, yeah, you can stream those easily. Another good one. I'm going kind of backwards from what I listened to. This is Charles Lloyd. This is a Blue Note from a few years back. Wild Man Dance. 2015. I was going to say 16, but close enough. I don't think that's a picture of him, but it's a gatefold double disc. Kind of good stuff. So kind of modal jazz, I would say. So he's still around, still touring. Yeah, his newer stuff's quite good. I'm kind of kicking myself for not buying the one. They just got a recent repress. It was supposed to be really good, but Flower or something like that. It's a kind of yellow cover. I always saw that in Japan. It was like everywhere, and it was so common. I just didn't pick it up. Like it's one of those ones you just see every jazz section, like 2-3 copies, and I just didn't pick it up but you don't see it here. Wish I had now. And it was so cheap in Japan, but next time I go, I'm definitely picking one up. But yeah, very, very enjoyable. But if you like Charles Lloyd, you're really going to like this next one. I think it's very much in the same style, but I think it's a better album. So One Off, Tachibana by the Toru Aizawa Quartet. So this is a recent repress. I think you could probably still get it, but it's getting quite hard to get a hold of now, I'd say. So really interesting history on this, but it was kind of a one-off by a bunch of college kids. They were just kind of doing the local bar circuit, I guess. And some businessman decided he was going to self-produce it or something and give them out as business cards. So all the originals are like super rare because they were basically just given out as business cards, and they probably weren't exactly treasured by the majority of the people that received them. So, but this got a reissue. I think this came from England or something. I can't remember the Barely Breaking Even Records. But yeah, they've been putting out some really good Japanese jazz stuff. But this is definitely top 5 Japanese jazz albums for me. This is a superb album. It just does not get a lot of attention. So yeah, Obi Strip, whatnot. But yeah, do yourself a favor. So Tachibana is a T there. And the Toru Aizawa Quartet. Yeah, if you look at these guys, yeah. Yeah. But yeah, do yourself a favor. This is really good if you like kind of modal jazz. It has a little bit of a Latin flavor on some of it, but but it's super. This is a super album. Do yourself a favor, check it out. And next, continue. I don't want to run too long here, but this is another first press. Sorry guys. I hate these stupid Blake sleeves. It's a Japanese sleeve like every store uses. Until they break, I don't replace them. Prisoner by Herbie Hancock. So he's kind of moving towards his Headhunter stage here. This is kind of one of those underrated albums, but it's worth a listen. It's not his best, but I'd say it's one of his better albums. Definitely worth a listen. I want to say it's been a while since I read the back here, but I want to say it was kind of largely, The Prisoner and so on. It's not the TV series. It was kind of like a civil rights kind of statement, but there's no vocal or anything on here, I believe. I don't remember there being any. Nope. So it's got Johnny Coles on flugelhorn, Joe Henderson on tenor sax and alto flute, Garrett Brown on trombone, and of course Herbie Hancock doing piano, and he's getting into his electric piano stage. Got Buster Williams on bass, Tootie Heath on drums, Hubert Laws on flute, there you go, Jerome Richardson on bass clarinets. It's got a lot of people in here. Romeo Penkay on bass clarinet, Tony Studd on bass trombone, Jack Jeffers on bass trombone, and again Joe Henderson. Okay, but yeah, yep. So I'm big. Yeah, I love Joe Henderson. So yeah, this is a really good album. Give it a listen if you like jazz anyway. Here we go. This was another recent old new stock pickup. So this was kind of cool. Yeah, I couldn't figure out how to get this off. Maybe if I do proper rubbing alcohol, this permanent marker. But this was a sealed copy I found of Howard DeVito's DeVito's solo album. So he did this maybe around the time of the last magazine album. There was the original hype sticker. I don't know if it's picking up very well. It's kind of dark down here in the dungeon. But if you like his, of course he did Buzzcocks, but yeah, Magazine was his lesser known work, but I think it was the better stuff, for me anyway. So post-punk, kind of, it's one of those seminal post-punk ones. But yeah, it gets just a little bit poppier on this than Magazine. It's a little less dark, but it's quite good. So I was quite happy to pick that up. Only a few bucks for a sealed copy, which was wonderful. And here's another one I picked up a while back in Japan. This was a second pressing from 1970. So I freed this from the shrink this week. I think this gets shown on the VC a lot, but yeah. Kaleidoscope. This is the California Kaleidoscope. Yep. And I believe this came out in '67 originally, but this is the pressing from a few years later. but it does have the same artwork. This is the sleeve it came with, but I just added the plastic. So it's on Epic. So very solid psychedelic rock. Worth a listen. I have one of their other albums. And this is another one I picked up at a thrift store a while back. It was either 50 cents or $2. I can't remember which thrift I found it, because I found a big stack of about 50 records. So near mint all around. Commodores, hot on the tracks. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's essential, but it's a good album. So I just kind of have it in the background on occasion. So, yep, Commodores on Motown. It's got that, this is, I'm pretty sure it's their original pressing, but it's got that kind of mid-70s to mid-80s Motown label. And some stuff, I think I might have shown this in the past, but this is something I picked up a while back when I was in college years. Octopus. So this was an advanced tape. They only had, this is the Octopus out of Baltimore. So this is on Morpheus Records. I forget, I looked it up. This actually did become a CD. They had one 7-inch in this. So if you, getting kind of obscure bands, but if you like Picasso Trigger, very similar sound. You know, really good album. It's kind of like grungy, hardcore, I'd say. Yeah. So Octopus, good listen. Pretty solid album. Might want to hunt down a CD of that myself, but the tape sounds quite good. So I picked that up when they were playing a place called The Hole in the Wall in Richmond, Virginia. It used to be kind of a punk bar, I guess. Okay. It wasn't much of a bar, but they always had good bands. Used to always see a lot of Japanese and really obscure stuff there. And this was a CD bundle I got from my brother when he decided not to keep his CDs anymore. So, yeah, I've heard some of his other stuff, which I kind of like better, but Lloyd Nichols kind of falls into that Americana. I think gets a little soul-y at times, but yeah, kind of Americana stuff. He's quite good. I can't remember the one I liked better than this, because I know I've definitely streamed them quite a bit in the past, but worth checking out if you like that Americana stuff. So I'm just going to sign off here, because I know I'm running a little bit longer, or getting past that sweet spot. I think you want to keep it below 15, which I tend to run over sometimes. So I hope everyone's having a great weekend, and just stay safe out there, because yeah, when I went out to the stores, as I said, and yeah, it's just people out here are just not wearing their masks, not keeping socially distant. There's a lot of crowding, and yeah, I just didn't feel safe. So yeah, I cut I guess when this all started a couple months ago. Yeah, post office was just a cluster, FUCK. It was terrible. Yeah, it was like, it took me like 90 minutes just to get some mail. I don't want to go through that. So I got a stack of mail just kind of been avoiding the post office. So you got a box coming, Steve, at some point. My family's got a box. I haven't gotten that to them yet. So yeah, hope everyone's doing well. And yeah, stay safe. If you're in Northern Virginia or DC, yeah, stay home, man. Jeez. I do need to go to like Lowe's or Home Depot, and I did a drive-by, and oh geez, it was like 4 times more people than normal there, and there's no way to stay distant. So I think I'm going to be doing like a really early morning trip at some point, because I got all these projects going here, and I really need to get them done so I can actually use my bathrooms and stuff. Yep, so take care everyone. Have a good one. And yeah, check out my contest if you haven't already. Cheers.